I will not let this republic be split in two. My negotiations will not fail.
If they do, there aren't enough Jedi to protect the Republic. We're keepers of the peace, not soldiers.
You know I don't like it when you do that.
Sorry, Master. I forgot you don't like flying.
Well, you've lost him.
If you'll excuse me.
I hate it when he does that.
Anakin, don't do anything without first consulting either myself or the Council.
You don't need guidance, Anakin. I see you becoming the greatest of all Jedi.
The boy has exceptional skills.
His abilities have made him arrogant.
Excuse me. I'm in charge of security here, milady.
They are using a bounty hunter named Jango Fett to create a clone army.
Wait. We must stop them before they're ready.
Your clones are very impressive.
They'll do their job well.
Blast, that's why I hate flying.
This is a crisis. The Senate must vote the Chancellor emergency powers.
As my first act, I will create a grand army of the Republic to counter the increasing threats of the Separatists.
Hasn't been a full-scale war since the formation of the Republic.
You must join me, Obi-Wan, and together we will destroy the Sith.
The dark side clouds everything. In grave danger you are. Begun this Clone War has.
China, the Chinese chicken. You have a drumstick and your brain stops sticking.
Okay, Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. I really enjoyed watching this trailer. I haven't seen this movie in quite a long time now. This is probably one of my least favorite of all the Star Wars movies, at least 1 through 6. It's definitely my least favorite, 1 through 6. So, but I still really enjoyed it. I remember when this movie first came out, I think I was in like the 5th grade, so I was like 10 years old, something like that. And I remember sitting in class, and one of my friends came up to me. Actually, this may have been at the lunch table. One of my friends came up to me and was like, "Hey, did you hear the new Star Wars? Star Wars Episode 2 is called Attack of the Clones." And that like really hit me. I was like, Attack of the Clones? That's crazy. And I just remember from Obi-Wan Kenobi talking about the Clone Wars. And I'm like, oh, so this is going to get into the Clone Wars a little bit. So I was like really pumped, and I was really excited to see all these Jedi and all the clones coming in and how that became and how that happened. And, you know, to get Anakin Skywalker a little bit older into his teenage years, it just sounds so cool. But to me, this movie is still fun. It's a really fun movie, but it's a lot about the love between Anakin and Padme building, and then the friendship between Obi-Wan and Anakin building, which I love. I love that, and the relationship those two have as master and apprentice, so I do really love that. So let's scrub through some of these scenes in the trailer and talk about it. Here we go. We get Chancellor Palpatine, and as we all know, we may or may not know at this point that he ends up becoming the Emperor. Emperor Palpatine, which we get at the end of Revenge of the Sith, which we'll get into. But yeah, this is just a real menacing look from him. You can kind of see it right here of him looking like the Emperor, wearing that black robe and everything. So love to see Chancellor Palpatine at this time. You get a shot here of Yoda as CGI Yoda. This is the first time they go to CGI Yoda, I believe. And then you get Mace Windu as well, and you also get Ki-Adi-Mundi. So that's really cool to see these three. They're all on the council, and just to see the council together working with Chancellor Palpatine is really cool. And you get this little action sequence. This may have been my favorite part from the movie is just the beginning of it and how it brings you in with Padme getting attacked and then them going after the bounty hunter and connecting it to Jango Fett and everything. That was a really cool opening to the movie, I think, and it really brings you into the world of Star Wars really well and captures you. So I love to see that, and I love to see Anakin being reckless. You know, this is the scene right before Obi-Wan's like, oh, he lost him, and Anakin's looking down, and he's like, if you excuse me, and he jumps out of the speeder, and that's just crazy to jump out of the speeder and Coruscant just float through the air like you're, skydiving or whatever, and he ends up catching up to that bounty hunter. You get a little bit in the trailer of Anakin Skywalker with Chancellor Palpatine, and you can see Chancellor Palpatine is starting to plant those seeds of deception and with the Jedi and turning Anakin to the dark side, and he starts it way back here. He really starts it way back when Anakin's a child, but he really starts to plant those seeds right here as well. So that was really cool to see. You get Obi-Wan Kenobi's hologram here, sending a message from the clone planet. I can't think of what it's called right now, but the clone planet, he's over there and it's raining all the time, and he's sending a message to the council telling them about the secret clone army and all that. So really cool to see that. And you get a little scene here with Obi-Wan Kenobi and Jango Fett. I don't think they show little Boba Fett in this, but if you've seen the movie, you get little Boba Fett here, but who's actually, Boba Fett's a clone of Jango Fett, which is kind of cool, and actually all the clones are clones of Jango Fett, so I like to see that. But Boba Fett is an unaltered version of the clones. All the clones are aged up progressively, so they age a lot faster, so they can get into their prime faster. You do get a lot of Chancellor Palpatine in this trailer. Here's a scene of him with his people around him, and he's talking about the clone army and how they're going to go into war against the separatists and everything. So that's really cool to see, and this is the beginning stages of Chancellor Palpatine taking over and turning the Republic into an empire. So pretty cool. Oh, and then you get a shot of the clone army here. Here you see all the soldiers here getting ready to go to war, and it's pretty crazy that they're able to just get this free army, and you're like thinking to yourself, how does this happen? Like how? And then, after Revenge of the Sith, you get Order 66, and yeah, we all go from there. But we'll talk about that when we see the trailer for Revenge of the Sith. And you get Count Dooku here. He's one of my favorite villains. I love Count Dooku. I think he's really cool. And the cool thing about Count Dooku is he was the master of Qui-Gon Jinn, who ended up teaching Obi-Wan, who ended up teaching Anakin. So it's it's a line of Jedi and passed down knowledge. And Dooku turns to the dark side. So that's really surprising to Obi-Wan. So yeah, I just love seeing this, love seeing Count Dooku here being all menacing, and we find out here that he's evil, so that's kind of cool. And you do get a few shots of Anakin with a lightsaber, which is always cool to see. He's a apprentice to Obi-Wan here, so he's a Padawan. He's still learning the Force and everything, but you can see here he's really talented with a lightsaber, obviously, so that's always cool to see. And obviously with his blue lightsaber as well, this lightsaber becomes very important in the future. Oh, and this probably got me so hyped when I was younger watching this trailer, but just seeing Anakin against Count Dooku here, and Anakin has two lightsabers, and you're like, whoa, what's going on here? How does he have a blue lightsaber and a green lightsaber? Is this like a normal thing? But in the movie, Anakin's lightsaber breaks, so he borrows like a green lightsaber, and at this point in the movie, Obi-Wan Kenobi's down, Dooku defeats him, and Obi-Wan throws his lightsaber to Anakin, so that's how he gets two lightsabers at this point, but he's putting up a fight against Count Dooku, so good for Anakin. And this is by far the coolest shot of the trailer, where you get all these Jedi. This is what everyone's been waiting for, is to get multiple Jedi. And here in this shot, you get there's 10 Jedi here. But then before they were all whittled down. There was a lot more Jedi. There was hundreds at this Coliseum at this point, before they were all killed by the Separatist army here. But yeah, here they all are defending themselves. And if you look closely, you can see Anakin, Padme, Obi-Wan, all the big Jedi here. Mace Windu's here. And this is right before Yoda comes in and saves the day with the clones. So yeah, just really cool to see all the Jedi working together here and putting up a last stand against the Separatist army. So this was the end of the trailer here. This is their money shot that they showed on the trailer. So really loved this trailer. Thought it was really cool. Again, Attack of the Clones isn't my favorite movie, but I remember being so hyped for it when I was young, getting so excited. But yeah, it's still a good movie to watch. It's still a fun rewatch for sure, especially with just showing all the Jedi working together and fighting together here in the Coliseum. So let me know what you guys think about the trailer down below. Leave a like and subscribe, and have a great day.
Chickadee China, the Chinese chicken. You have a drumstick and your brain stops sticking.